Alright, episode 4 of The Rings of Power, Eldest. The stranger finds what he's been searching for. Arondir and Isildur search for Theo. Galadriel and Elrond walk into a trap. Directed by Sanaa Hamri, Louise Hooper, written by Glenise Mullins. My name's On Blood, of course. Joining me, Ashley Hobley. What did you think of this week's episode?
Hey, Dylan. Yeah, I really enjoyed most of this episode, at least the parts that I could actually see, because, you know, this episode falls into a common trap of shooting night for night and thus not allowing anybody without a really good TV to see what was happening.
Okay, very interesting. If you want to start on that before we talk about more of the episode. I thought this episode looked really good. And I'm not just saying this because you just said that. I had a point where I was watching this going, oh man, like the lighting is really good. Like I remember actually sitting there thinking the lighting looks really good on this episode. So you struggled. Now, big difference here. I have a LG G4 OLED like 2024 TV. You have a piece of shit.
Listen, I'll be honest. I watched that part on the tablet because I was rushing to watch it because I thought we were going to record when we were going to record. So that probably did not help.
I was like, I need to watch it. I need to do my Astrobot review again.
Yeah. So things happen.
Okay. So didn't like the night shooting. Okay.
No, I mean, you know, I'm sure it looked good if it's watched in the optimal way.
It is a testament, I think, for like sometimes I think when people are like, man, how do you like sort of show someone
how good a TV is? Show them that this.
Well, I think stuff that I think is very easy to point out, and there are like sort of demos and stuff that are in TVs, like especially coming from someone who walks in a store with these TVs, right? But whenever I watch a movie on my TV or a TV show that is at night and someone has like a light source, especially like like something set in older days where they got like in this where they got the stick with the the fire stick or a torch or like I watched something a little while ago where they had like a little early 1900s carrying around the candle in the box sort of thing. All of those things look really good because you get absolutely like the contrast is spot on. It looks fantastic. There's no bleed of colors. Like it just helps. Like it looks really, really nice. So, interesting. All right, continue. Apart from that,
I thought it was good. Lots of storyline. We didn't touch on every storyline, but obviously we progressed them reasonably well. We got a bunch of cool creatures. We got to see some Ents. That was cool. And then we got introduced to Tom Bombadil, which is a fun name to say.
Bombadil.
He's really enjoyable to watch. He's like talking to Gandalf in wizard riddles, which is the opposite of what we usually get. It's usually Gandalf with wizard riddles. So yeah, I had a good time. Gandalf gets eaten by a tree. What's a tree eating this episode?
It's true.
What did you think?
I really liked this episode. I think its focus primarily on there was a lot over with the Tom Bombadil and the halflings and the new halflings. I don't call them halflings.
The stewards.
We're stewards. All of that like being a big part of the episode really I thought was fantastic because it's all set in an area of Middle Earth we haven't seen before, with a lot of interesting tidbits while still relating back to what I was saying like before we started recording. I'm like my only understanding of this Tom character was when we did a rewatch for this podcast and when I was reading up trivia and stuff and then finding out that Tom Bombadil was in the book Fellowship of the Ring, but then cut from the movie because Peter Jackson said his character doesn't really add anything to it. It's just a like sort of tangential scene.
Yeah.
Tolkien has two other like a poem and another short, something like that with another couple versions of the character, which is where they're pulling more from this. But so I think like although there's like stuff here that relates it back to stuff, and we've obviously got the character we now Albert presumes Gandalf's there. So there's like lots of very like core Lord of the Rings universe stuff happening, but like there's also a lot of things that felt new. You know, the Dark Wizard. You know, the everything happening in this, and it's deserty as well. You know, it's just I think even the landscape, because what we're used to seeing in Lord of the Rings is what it's foresty stuff, or like it's Mordor, swamp, I guess, but like nothing like this. This is very like
a lot of green or brown.
Yeah, not this odd sort of savanna-ish, I don't know, setting. It's not like full desert. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite interesting. I definitely will say the Bombadil. Was it? Is it Bombadil? Am I saying it wrong? Bombadil.
Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil.
Or Bombadil.
It's a great name. It's hard to say. We'll get right, maybe. Now, we knew this character was being part of it because they did release that. Well, maybe you didn't know that because I don't think you've been paying as much attention to the pre-release stuff as I have. But
no, I saw the casting news, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Tom Bombadil was the prediction that people had for who the stranger is in season 1.
But then it wasn't.
It was not. It doesn't appear to be.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it definitely is not. We just still don't know 100% who the stranger is. That's what I mean.
Correct, yeah. I loved everything with him. I think that actor was fantastic. I think he's the combination between his accent and the dialogue and just the overall performance by the actor. It just gives him a very warm sense that I know you're saying like he sort of sounds like Gandalf, but I think that's sort of the point. Like he has this warm tone delivery. Like I don't know. As soon as he's on screen, you just don't think that he's a bad guy at all. You know, if that makes any sort of sense, you're just like, this guy is. I think he's fine. You sort of feel safe with him. If that makes any sort of sense. I think, yeah. I don't know. I think that's just a performance thing that comes across, obviously, but I thought that was really good as well. So I'm definitely like really keen to find out more about how they're going to progress the storyline there.
Played by Rory Kinnear, who people would know from the movie Men.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, I would. But...
Yeah, that's my target audience for that reference.
He plays like 26 different characters in that film, but I don't think it's really his real accent. Or maybe it is, and I've never heard his real accent. So yeah, he says that he trained the Dark Wizard, which was another little thing. So again, playing into this whole, I can tell you the other thing I've done. This once I finish watching this episode, and maybe it's just this reinvigoration of the Middle-earth spirit I'm feeling now that the show's back down. After I finished watching this, I then went and watched like a half-hour YouTube about Lord of the Rings lore, just so I could try and get my like I laid in bed as I'm like going to sleep. I just like chucked this on. I think I fell asleep halfway through it, which is fine, not because it was boring, but because I was like tired. But I'm like, I'm just gonna fall asleep listening to this very deep Lord of the Rings explanation of lore because I need to wrap my head around some things. Because they like talk about, you know, 5 Islatar, I think that's how you say it. Whatever, the angels, right? There's like Gandalf, you know, well, the stranger, and we see him come down.
Yeah,
in season 1, which is the whole point. So the idea, I guess, is that the Dark Wizard came down previously, also didn't understand how to use his magic. Tom helped train him. He's now gone bad. Now that again does play into this whole theory that stranger Gandalf. This has to be could be one of the 2 blue wizards, although there's nothing blue about him. I still don't think there's any chance it's anyone else that we know, because that would be dumb. Then, because I think the other thing that's having me wanting to wrap my head around the larger Lord of the Rings universe, Middle Earth as a whole, is this show, just simply because like the movies are really concise, condensed down to Middle Earth, and then like when you start watching this show, they start talking about, mentioning places outside of Middle-earth and like before the events. Like there's so much more going on that like in a whole it really helps like again sort of boil down and pinpoint how like small of a time frame and also even location wise that the Lord of the Rings 3 films, main books, whatever, take place over, I guess. And there's like so much more to Tolkien's lore, which is quite interesting. What did you think of Nori and Poppy running into their new friends? What do you make of that little town?
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and obviously like is playing into the lore of what we will come to know as hobbits, you would assume. And yeah, it's just kind of this weird tragic tale, really. That all we know of the Harfoots are they were people who set out to find some sort of paradise, and along the way they just kept walking because that's all they knew for generations. Very telling. They don't know why they do the thing that they do. They just do it. It's kind of something we could take in. We should question why we do the things that we do.
Well, they have that all what do you call it? Like a mural that they get shown the history. It's quite sad, really, the fact that they're sort of still clinging on to this potential idea of this paradise out there, and then having.
Well, they're not even clinging to it because they don't know, and two, all they're doing is taking the same trip like every year, every migration season. So really, they're just walking in circles forever. Never to find what they never knew they wanted.
And then, so, I don't know. How do you... I don't know, maybe I need to look up a YouTube video for this. How do we get from here to the Hobbits?
Poppy's going to found the Shire. Gandalf is going to help Poppy find that place, and they're all going to settle in the Shire.
I mean, something like that, as corny as it sounds, would make a lot of sense.
It's the only...
It's an explanation in the world where the strangers, the Gandalf, and all these sorts of things, his affliction for halflings, his like visiting to the Shire, like it would all make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, that's another fan theory that I've seen. Like people are like, oh, the Baggins is a descendant of Poppy, and that's why Gandalf is close to them.
Yeah. That could be cool. That'd make a lot of sense, and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What did you think of, by the way, when you got ate by that tree?
I was like, fuck. Where'd he go?
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's dead.
That's crazy, Lots of people have been in this episode now. I think about it even more. Not even just trees. But yeah, that was a cool effect. And then to have Bombadil pull him out, seamlessly, it seems.
Yeah.
Or
just let him out.
Yeah, because how would you actually do that?
I don't know. But I know when they pull him out, they just pull him from off screen because the camera cuts to
Well, yeah, the Bombadil's standing in a position where, he just pulled, probably from behind a tree. But
yes. So I was like, that's fine. I think another thing is obviously you get there was a throwaway line or a quick line about when the masked dark wizard people come visit them, and they're like, you'll find out why we wear masks soon enough. The dark wizard something. What do you reckon?
What a dick, just slapping that lady as soon as he walks in.
Yeah, no, right? And then,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the story is behind them, Maybe they're furry people. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anything is possible.
It's true.
He's fucked up all their faces.
Must have done something, though. It does make them stand out. And again, I hadn't seen For some reason, they look so like I got used to the stranger just being taller, but when they come and face the rest of the townsfolk, I was like, oh right, they're
very small.
They're very small. Kind of forgot there for a second. All right, so then we have a little.
Oh yeah, what about no? It's Norrid, so Poppy and Nobody's flirtation.
Oh, their little flirtation. Not little flirtation. That was a hardcore flirtation, I think.
Hardcore.
They just like stared off into the distance, like at each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine. I thought that was fun. I hope he sticks around into like I'm happy for him to be join our camp for a little bit.
Crew.
Or something. Crew for a bit. I'm fine.
He's got a barrow.
Yeah, he's got a barrow. That's fine. I thought that was quite funny. I just like the fact they had this little stare off and then just chases after him. It's like, you don't tell us where to go, I'm going to fucking dob you. Tells him what for. So that was fun.
Yeah.
All right, so then, a little bit of Elrond and Galadriel in this episode. Not a lot, but basically they come to a bridge. It's been come down, and then as Galadriel says several times, this is not done by this is the work of Sauron.
Everything's the work of Sauron.
Yeah, I know. She says Sauron. Comes down. So bridge is gone. They're like, oh, we can either go left or right. Go this way. Galadriel's like, the ring is telling me if we go that way, it's bad. Elrond says, fuck the ring. We're going that way anyway. So then they head into wherever they go, the bush there, tree forest, and they come across what do you call them?
They're whites, right?
Yeah, whites, I guess. Yeah, true. So White's been brought to life by Sauron to fight them, and they have a little standoff. They brought 4 random elves whose names we'll never remember to be some cannon fodder, so that they get killed off. That was
one of them gets killed. Yeah,
straight away. So that was good. Decent little fight scene there, and then after
I assume it was decent.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he looked decent to me. Then they continue on. They then find out that they catch up to the orcs marching towards. I can't remember the place's name, but where
they're in Elvish land where they're not meant to be.
Yeah, well, they're in Elvish land currently, is where they are, but they're marching to where Celebrimbor and the Sauron.
I think is right.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes, that's where they're marching towards. So they're like, "Oh, we better go tell them off." And Galadriel gives Elrond the ring, and then she fights them all. And then, the episode ended here, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it ends here because
with her meeting Adar.
Adar's like, oh, Galadriel, I'm so glad we have met finally, or whatever there. So that was a cool fight scene. She quotes Gandalf.
It was a cool fight scene. Her taking out so many orcs before finally going down.
She goes off. So
her good. Setting a lantern, all those orcs on fire.
And
those orcs, they had children. So I mean,
Sure, it's very true. But yeah, Elrond's still a bit of a bitch about it all because they're like, she's sacrificing herself for us. He's like, and she ain't sacrificing. She's just sacrificing for his fucking ring.
we don't matter.
We don't matter. It's just a ring. Yeah. So so Galadriel's now going to be with Adar. Elrond continues on his mission to find Celebrimbor. That's where we're.
I don't know if he is. Is he going to go back to home base to like?
I don't think he goes back because
to go. The orcs
surely they try and outrun or outpace the orcs to warn Celebrimbor. Wouldn't that make sense? I think
maybe.
And then I guess Galadriel's going to spend some time with Adar. Do a little bit of monologuing at one another.
Yeah, just talking. Yeah. Just saying Sauron a lot.
Yeah. Maybe that's that my enemy's enemy is my
a weird
friend,
union.
Sort of. Yeah.
Because you'd be like, Sauron, the guy who was with me? We saw each other.
Remember that guy? And it was like, oh, that person. Yeah, he came into camp recently. Yeah, that's Sauron. No way. Yeah, way. You had him. Fuck. We let him go. Oh, right. Yeah. So looking forward to that playing out. Yeah.
Hopefully it plays out exactly like that.
Exactly like that. That would be fun.
With that tone, yeah.
Yeah, that would be quality content. Is what that would be. So that. And then the other big, I guess the second main part to the episode, alongside all the Stranger Tom stuff, was the story happening. I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to put into perspective where we are.
Humans.
But anyway, yeah, humans. I guess
humans and hot
human
elf,
plus one elf. Yeah. So they're looking for the kid whose name I can't remember, who got captured last episode.
Theo,
that's right. Theo. And that's when they come across what do you call it? No,
Ents.
Ents. Yeah, that's it. They come across Ents, who they are.
They're pissed.
They are pissed. Yeah, that's right. That's the easiest way to put it. That was quite good. They didn't tease out the reveal, I guess, that Estrid was a wild woman.
No, yeah, you thought they might have been secret for like a long time.
Yeah, no. So,
but no.
They get that along. She saves them anyway. There's some snake creature.
They get eaten by.
They have the best line of the episode was when he comes out and goes, "It's the nameless things that live into that live here. We shall name this one breakfast." I was like, good one, elf. You got him.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, so then they come across the Ents. They've been capturing people. Basically, they're pissed off that they think everyone's working with the orcs, more or less. Which, to be fair, wild people there are. So, they're chopping down trees, marching through the forest, killing them all. They have this really cool conversation, I think, with the Ents. I think they looked really, really good. The caliber of, again, all the stuff in the dark here looked fine for me.
No, I don't think it was that dark.
Well, they have one scene in the dark. I know if you had a problem with that, but then it goes, and then the stuff with the Ents I thought was really cool, and I thought they looked fantastic. Like showing the money that's gone into the show. Not that
I don't know. Do you think they look better than they did in the movies?
I don't know if they look better. They just look the same to me. But like at least.
Well, I think obviously they've put a little bit more detail. They can do a little bit more rather than just trying to keep them pretty basic in the movies. So because if she was I'm going to say female Ent. She was like had all the flowers all over her and that kind of stuff. So,
well, she rips one off and gives it to what's his face?
Adolmia?
Is Little? No, that's the human.
Arondir.
Arondir, sorry. Yeah, Arondir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. He makes a promise that he will help them
first,
which he was kind of going to anyway. But
yeah.
I guess he becomes maybe.
I did enjoy that they called back to him having to cut down that tree last season. Like, unfortunately, I like
how he didn't lie.
No, yeah.
It's just like, I was like, have you ever taken axe to wood? Unfortunately, yes.
Trees right next to my body. Yeah.
And I like how they don't fully understand everything. Like they explain that these swords are not for wood cutting. Like, what are they for? Orc killing, like they just see them sharp objects as they're for cutting down our trees, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. So, I liked all of that. I thought it was cool. I had no real complaints about this episode. I thought it was quite good, to be honest. I enjoyed it.
And then we got Love Triangle because her betrothed was amongst the saved people.
I don't know if that. Sure, I don't know. Do we care about her now?
I don't know if she sticks around.
What do you? I've seen one of the complaints has been like how the elf, in particular Galadriel, speaks. I think even all the elves how they speak. I think people are like insane. The elves always speak weird.
Yeah,
like they have a candor to their delivery. They have we talk like we're better than everyone tone.
Yeah,
and that's just been.
You need to go back and rewatch Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
do you go rewatch Kate Blanchett and then go watch what's his face in the Hobbit movies? Old Lee Pace. And everything here will fit what they did in those movies for the elves because they've all got to stick up their ass.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. So I don't know. It's weird.
And listen, I could say I'm happy to hear Galadriel talk about Sauron constantly.
Yeah,
It is fun to hear. Sauron.
She says it in such a way. The same way I enjoy how I'll be like, yeah, Galadriel, and he'll be like, Galadriel. It's like they say everything with the like they like hyphenate every fucking like I don't know, like
get as many syllables, put as much pronunciation in once.
Yes, exactly. Every syllable with the everything. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm having fun with the show. I'm still enjoying it.
We're halfway through.
Halfway through already, and I'm already. I just need more Tom in my life. Is where I'm at. So
we're gonna get 4 more episodes of Tom. Maybe.
I hope so. I hope every episode has Tom in it for now. That'll make me very happy at this point, to be honest. So
I also enjoyed that there was a reveal of the stars being on his roof of his house, which was cool. He was meant to go to him
because he was looking for them the whole time. That's what. So there you go.
It's actual stars. Yeah.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for. I was trying to remember if I had something else to say, but no. That'll do it for this week's episode of Lord of the Rings Extended, our Middle-earth podcast. Of course, we'll be back to discuss next week's episode of The Rings of Power. Until then, you can let us know what you thought of this episode. explosionover.com/Twitter, explosionover.com/Discord. Check out all the other great podcasts on and stuff on explosionover.com, and we'll be back next week to talk about. And the second half of the season already. Sure, why not? You know who I'd blame for that? Sauron. All right, goodbye.
Sauron.